Hey everybody, this is Mike Venus, and I'm back. And I'm here working on the MPC Live 2. Um, and I want to show you something, um, basically my beat making process, so you will know when I work on this. It's the same on here on the Force, but the workflow is a little bit different. But here's on the MPC. Basically, let's go through it. What I did, first and foremost, I picked some drums. Um, what you can do, right? You could you can use the content that's within. You can use maybe an expansion pack, right, or whatever, and then basically pick a sound with the effects that they have in here on the drum effects program, and also the air and the Akai effects. You can create your process on there, use the filters, whatever, and then flatten the pad. So that's what I did. Hold up, I got an effect on the master, so let me turn these off so you can kind of hear what it sounds like. Right? That's the snare. And that's the hat. So I did that. I sound designed these. And once you flatten the pad, it's a new sample. So it's basically yours. Then I used the hype synth to create a transition. Added some effects on it. And then I also used the Odyssey plugin to create this ambient type sound, because you know in chill hop, lo-fi, stuff like that, you need kind of like shit in the background to kind of like fill it up. Even though my beats, even though they be simple, and I strive to keep it simple, the KISS method, keep it strictly simple, I get bored, so I try to overcompensate at times, but I'm realizing that I just need to keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? So what I did, I picked some type of weird lo-fi, that's what it's called, it's under the effects. Sample that, then I process it, I put some effects on it, and this is what it sounds like. And then what I did, once I made the sample the way I wanted, I flattened the pad. So what this does is free up the CPU, which helps because that keeps your MPC from crashing and stuff like that. So that's in the background, right? So this is on the first drum program. The second drum program, I got my chops, right? So what I did, let me find it. I took this, loop from my loop pack from the Mike Venus Jazz Keys Volume 3. This is what it sounds like. This is how the loop sounds before I process it and chopped it up. Awesome. And then when I chopped it up, I made it into this. Tuned it down some. Right? And those are the sounds that make up this beat. So let me go back to the master. Let me add my effects on there. I had a lo-fi effect on there. I put an EQ on there, the radio effect, and then I put a limiter so it smacks. So here we go. So you can kind of hear the sounds. So that's the ambient sound I made for the background. All right, here's the drums. Hold it up. Because I flattened that so I can add the mother ducker to that because I want the drum to kick the punch through that. Awesome sauce. Right, so let's play the beat. There you go. Shit's easy, bro. Right. So, yeah, like, just keep this shit really simple, bro. Keep it simple. This is basically, I didn't put no bass in there because the kick drum is kicking, is hitting. And, yeah, this is just a drum, a sample, some type of atmospheric sound in the background, and a transition. So, like, you know, if I wanted to create a song out of this, I can with these parts, and then, you know, but this is just straight beat right now. And then I can add, you know, the XY effects in there. Yo, yo, yo. Right. So hopefully that was what's up. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna talk you through this, and then I'm gonna show you in this. So in the Force. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna save this as a Ableton Live Session, right? So say I like this, right? Let's go to project. First, let's purge anything I don't need because I don't need that to transfer over there. Cool. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to ALS export, right? Now, the reason why I'm going to say this is because this will make it really easy whenever I bring it over to the Force. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to save it as MIDI. I'm going to try it out. Well, first, let me save it as an audio. Just include everything. Right? And export. I'm going to put this under, I'm going to make a new folder. ALS projects. Right? That way I know whenever I pull it up in there, that's what it's going to be. Trying to figure out where I want to say this. I'm gonna say this as audio and MIDI. So let me say this as audio first. I'll put this on there. Chill boom bap. New folder. ALS. Project. Test. I'll call this test beat. This is the audio. Alright, so I'm gonna save it as audio first, and then I'm gonna save it as MIDI, and then I'm gonna bring it into the into the Akai Force. So yeah. I'm gonna power that on. Export this time as MIDI. Right. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this out of the MPC, my drive. Eject. Alright, I'm gonna turn this off. MPC, and let's rotate this over to the Akai Force. Alright, let's go to empty project. Alright. Now, this would be under first. I'm gonna pull up the MIDI. Right. So it just saved me the MIDI. That's what the MIDI project did. So it'll load. Let's go back. Now this is all the audio clips. Turn everything on real quick. See, so it transferred. Okay. Okay, so I had to stretch them. What is it, 90? It was 92. 95, was it 95? 92. So we got the ambient sound, right? Right? Set the right BPM. See? So I can start a beat out here in the MPC, save it as an Ableton Live Session. I would say it's best to save it as audio, unless you like the patterns you played on the MIDI, or you can save it as both. It doesn't matter. But if you just want the sound to come from here and put it in the Force, save it as an Ableton Live Session under audio clips. Include, if you want to include the panning and the effects. And what it's going to do is going to save it as an audio clip. And like I said, each project in the Force is the equivalent of one sequence in the MPC. So if you want to kind of understand how these two communicate, or how, if you're going from something working on the Force, the MPC, and getting a Force, or if you went from the Force to the MPC, so you can understand. A project in here is the equivalent of one sequence in the MPCs, okay? Every track that you play, like in one sequence you can have, 8 audio tracks, 8 plug-in tracks, countless MIDI tracks, right? That's cool. You can do the same thing, but that's in one sequence. When it transfer over to the Force, it's going to be like it's an Ableton Live Session. So the same concept will apply. If you convert everything into audio, it's going to be audio. If you convert everything into MIDI, it's only going to be strictly MIDI. So just keep that in mind and understand, like I said, one sequence on the MPCs is the equivalent of a project for Ableton, or for Ableton Live Session used in the Akai Force. So like I just demonstrated early on, I made a beat in the MPC, saved it onto my hard drive, brought it over to the Force, and here we go. Now if I want to track this out into the arranger, I can, but I lose some control over like mute stops and stuff, because now this is an audio clip. You know what I'm saying? So this is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? I can remix this, meaning take the sample chops. It's one loop. Chop that up and flip it again if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got the trans sound in there. So if I'm transition from one sequence to the next, right? And I got this ambient sound in the background. So that's for anybody that has both of these devices, or if you got the MPC and you got Ableton, because it saves it. Also, when you just turn it down a little bit, when you save it as that Ableton Live Session, it saves it also as a regular Ableton Live Session, so you can use it in the suite, the intro, right, the standard version, or you can use it also as it produces its own Ableton Light version. So if you just have the intro level Ableton Light, like most people will have if they had bought a Launchpad, or any other gear that gives the Ableton Light as a free software to use in conjunction with the MIDI controller or software or program, you can use that. So I'll advise you to use it if you can. And sorry this was kind of long, but hopefully this was educational. You know what I'm saying? So with that, Mike out.